we've been very clear that we're going to get housing built, and that's why we set a target of 1.5 million houses over the next 10 years. We've introduced bills, 2 bills previously, and we made a commitment to release a bill every year to cut red tape and get faster permitting. And last year, over 100,000 homes were built. That's the highest level in almost 35 years. So, we're getting the job done. There's more to do, and while there's no silver bullet, we've got a clear plan, and we're moving forward with that plan.
Ontario's progressive Conservative government unveiled its budget today, as we've been talking about, saying it's implementing a long-term plan to address the housing crisis in the province. That includes speeding up approvals to get more shovels in the ground, prioritizing Ontario homebuyers over foreign investors, and cracking down on unethical developers. Of course, it comes 5 weeks before Ontarians head to the polls for the provincial election, and a new campaign is asking voters to take immediate action to support affordable housing. Joining us live tonight, Marlene Coffey, CEO of Ontario Nonprofit Housing Association, along with Tim Ross, Executive Director of the Cooperative Housing Federation of Canada, talk more about their Vote for Housing campaign. Marlene, in a statement, the Vote for Housing campaign states supply is lagging, rent is going up, and existing affordable housing needs to be protected. Did you see enough specifics in this budget to tackle these issues?
Well, we're really glad to see that Ontarians and our political leaders are addressing housing affordability, and particularly deep affordability. And I have to say that we are very connected to the community housing sector. We are the community housing sector. And what we hear loud and clear from our members, as well as the tenants that they serve, is that deep affordability is an absolutely critical issue. We are currently housing about 500,000 people in the province of Ontario through 700 corporations called housing providers. And that is a wide spectrum across the province of Ontario, in that we're in 220 communities.
So, Tim, as the campaign notes, over 200,000 Ontario households need immediate access to housing. Of course, the Ford government says 1.5 million homes over 10 years. What pace would you like to see when it comes to building, and particularly how much needs to be affordable?
Well, the target of 1.5 million homes over 10 years is an important figure. The question we need to ask ourselves is how much deeply affordable housing is going to be built within that target. With over 200,000 households waiting for an affordable place to call home in Ontario, we need to see action to build more deeply affordable housing. And we have an action plan as part of our Vote for Housing campaign to bring real solutions to address the housing crisis for those who are in greatest need.
So, Tim, not just building, but did you hear enough specifics in the budget today for what the Ford government will describe as affordable housing in its plan to build over the next 10 years?
Well, look, we've reviewed the budget, and we're reviewing all the parties' platforms. And if we thought that all the parties were going far enough to address the housing crisis, especially for those who are greatest in need, we wouldn't be having this campaign, this Vote for Housing campaign. So we're hoping that the public will be with us, because 2 in 3 Ontarians in a recent poll said that the government needs to do more to invest in more deeply affordable housing. And we are hoping that Ontarians will join our campaign to show all parties that we need to build more deeply affordable housing. We need to protect the community housing that exists today, and we need to make renting a more viable option and protect renters more adequately through rental assistance programs as well.
Marlene, we've heard from ResCon since the budget came out, and for construction, they're pleased with the commitment from the Ford government. But to tackle housing supply problem, can we just build our way out of this crisis?
Well, we have a very complex issue, which has actually been a symptom of many decades of underfunding and systemic underfunding of community housing and deeply affordable housing in particular. And so what's important to note here is that community housing is part of the solution. We are landowners, we are developers, we do add to the stock. And we have built 90% of affordable housing stock in the province of Ontario, though we represent just over 5% of the overall housing market. And so it's absolutely critical to us that we're in a position to build more and be a continued part of that solution. We've identified that we need to build 99 new and additional units in the next 10 years, and that lines up with the National Housing Strategy.
Tim.
We've also identified that we need to support the infrastructure that's already here. We have infrastructure that is coming into around 50 years old. And of course, as you can imagine, maintaining and ensuring that people can live in a place that is appropriate is absolutely critical for Ontarians.
Right.
And then we hear from the public also that supports and the need around wraparound services to ensure success is a critical issue for communities.
Of course, a community is not just the home, it's not just the house, it is all the services that go with it. So Tim, tell us specifically, what do you want to get out of voters in the Vote for Housing campaign as we lead up to the election now, 5 weeks away?
Well, we're in a housing crisis. We know that voters are with us, that we need more deeply affordable housing, and we need to protect the deeply affordable housing that we have. So if you care about this issue, if viewers care about this issue, we ask that you go to voteforhousing.ca, that's with the number 4, to sign up for our campaign and write the party leaders and candidates and share your concerns about the housing crisis and the solutions that we can bring to the table after the election.
Tim Ross and Marlene Coffey, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.